Hello, my gifts of gals. This is your girl, Deb Chanel's 48 World, coming back to you on March the 16th. It's a beautiful day in Georgia, and then it's warming up as well. So, woo, pray for us here in Georgia because here we go into springtime with all the bumblebees, the bugs, the pollen, and all of that. But enough of that. Be blessed anyway and stay encouraged always. All right, we're going to be reviewing Bold and the Beautiful. It was taped on Tuesday, March 15th. And yes, I know I'm a little bit behind, but I was having some computer problems because I was going to get this one done yesterday as well as the other one that was going to air today. But we're doing Tuesday and we're doing Wednesday all in one taping. Well, it's going to be two tapings. I'm going to do this one on March 15th. Then I'm double back and do the one that was for today, the 16th. Okay? But here we go with Tuesday's soap opera event on The Bold and the Beautiful. The first scene goes when Quinn and Liam are together. She's getting ready, trying to make herself up, getting her best little clothes that she can find, because she need to go take care of some business. But basically, what she's doing is trying to conspire with Deacon, and them pretty much getting a tactical strategy mind of thinking to fulfill her plan of getting rid of Liam for good. However, Liam is sitting on the bed. He's watching her pretty much get ready. And he was like, you got to go work today? What's going on? Tell me a little bit about where you're going because I know I'm going to be here because I don't have anywhere to go. So he's been a little bit concerned. And she goes in to say, she has to go visit a friend who's dying. So he's like kind of upset about that and wondering why she hadn't told him about it. Is somebody they both know? Can he go? This, that, and the third. But anyway, they move off that scene. Scene goes to Steph. Steph is in her office trying to conduct business. Don't know what business she doing because she don't design. She don't do any production far as commercials or anything in photography. So I'm not really sure. Maybe she does a lot of negotiations, but we're really just seeing her in the office, but she's not handling anything. So I'm kind of questioning, like, okay, but she's supposed to be the president and all this good stuff. So she goes in to pick up her cell phone because she's contemplating, thinking about where is Liam? Why haven't Liam called me? But she's wearing another man's ring, which happens to be Liam's older brother. See where we're going with this? All of us in one big old triangle. So she makes the phone call to Liam. She gets a voicemail. She leaves a message, all compassionate and concerned, thinking, and she gets nowhere. But prior to her ending the phone call, a knock comes on her door. She's like, who is it? And in walks Ivy. And she was like, oh my goodness. So she finished the call with Liam and it hangs up. And she hangs up the phone to address Ivy coming in her office. And why is she here? Why is she here? Why is she not in Australia? But then the scene moves to Bill and Wyatt. Bill is in the office with his son Wyatt, getting him all set, groomed, and prepped for the board meeting. He's making sure his suit is looking on point, looking at him, reflecting, making sure he got the right look to impress, his stakeholders as well as the other board members. And he's basically talking with him about the business, what he's going to be going over, and, how he feel about being, put on the spot in the scene of everything, but he only wants him to observe unless he has something valuable to contribute. But let's run it by him first, meaning his father, prior to doing anything. Wyatt is pretty much like, I'm cool with everything. I think if I have something pretty much to, let them know, I'll run it by you first, and then I'll just go on and make it. But if it's something I really feel that I don't come across in my business dealings, because yes, we had a little board as well, I will address it, and I'm sure you will be pleasantly surprised at how I handle myself. And so, I'm pretty sure he's very well solidified in the industry of business, even though he functioned more on the jury side. But hey, business is business. A product is a product. The only bottom line you looking for is for your company's revenue is to stay in the black, and everything's gravy. But anyway, he's just saying, come on over here by the computer and let me run some numbers by you, and let's just see what you think about him and stuff. See if we're on the same, wavelength. But he did put out there, just food for thought, that they were discussing Liam's disappearing there, and that's why Wyatt is there and Liam is out. And whenever he comes back, you're still gonna be here, Wyatt, promoting and doing business, and we're gonna find something for Liam to do. He won't be gone, but we'll find him something else to do since he's putting the business on the way back burner than his personal life. And he's just pretty much indicating that Liam doesn't know how to balance things out. So he can't roll with nobody when it comes to his money, his revenue, and his company longevity. So the scene moves from there, and it moves back to Quinn and Liam. And Quinn is expressing to Liam that no, she don't need any help. It's not somebody they knew together. It's more of her personal friend, and that her friend is kind of leery of new people coming around or people that she's don't know about her particular situation she's going through. She just want to stay close to the ones that she feels comfortable with, and she just have to go along. It's just one of those particular things. And plus, she's grieving, and she don't want to bring Liam down or anybody else's down over our already down situation, an emotional situation. But basically, she's just not wanting to expose Liam to his own plan of attack of getting rid of him. So she's thinking over some technical strategies in her head, but she needs to pin them off someone that already knows just as much as she knows about the situation that she's in. So while she's getting ready and all that kind of good stuff, Deacon gives her a call over the phone, and she's discussing in another room of what she needs to have done, and he needs to meet her because they need to go over their technical plan of action of how they're going to execute the demise of Liam Spencer. So it get kind of comical, I tell you. And then we go back to the scene of Ivy and Steffi. Now you remember we left off where Ivy knocked on the door. Stephanie didn't know that was Ivy on the door until she asked the person to come in, and she saw Ivy. So this is the part where Steffi half-heartedly invites Ivy into the building or into her office a little bit more, where they can, go at each other and throw as many daggers and darts as they possibly can at one another. And that is what pretty much happens. Ivy takes her first stab at, okay, well, why aren't you married? Why haven't I been given an invitation? What's going on? Evidently, since I've not received any of that information or phone calls to, the contrary, that you got married. You didn't get married. Where is Liam? What's going on? This, that, and the other. So Steffi is pretty much throwing the darts back at her, saying, "Hey, where is Liam? Is he not there? You should know where he is. Is he not over there in Australia with you?" Both of them look down, dumbfounded at one another, and then they start comparing notes. And evidently, it just is what it is. They're coming up empty, so the scene moves ahead. We go back to Quinn and Deacon. Both of them has met up at their little meeting spot, and they're talking about ideas of different ways of killing Liam or disposing of him and his body. And Deacon is like full of nerves. He almost should be shaking in his boots or going to look for a drink or something so he can calm his nerves. But again, he's going through the whole spiel that Quinn I don't want to commit first degree murder. I ain't got time to go to jail. You don't have time to go to jail. Why don't you just do the honorable thing? Take that boy over to his father, let him figure out, and you get the hell out of town, pretty much. Queen's not buying it. She's like, no, we have to think of this perfect plan. We have to execute it, and we have to leave no traces of evidence. So that's, scene flows on over to Ivy and Steffi again. Steffi doesn't believe that Liam is not with Ivy. Ivy's looking at her very perplexed, saying, if he was with me, you would see him with me now. What are you talking about? So again, they're still going around throwing darts at one another, putting each other down, and still no comments to nothing comes to mind of where Liam is. So she's blaming Steffi. Ivy's blaming Steffi for Liam disappearing. I don't blame him for disappearing. He couldn't have me. He don't want you. What's up? You know what I'm saying? You still can't keep a man. Is basically what Ivy is saying. Ivy is telling her, hey, I went home. He escorted me. He bumped his head in the bathroom on the plane. That's how she found out he was with her, because she didn't even know. He escorted her to the airport, put her on the plane, and that's how she really saw him. But he had to give her something, so he jumped on the plane, found her, and on his way of exiting out, he had to go to the restroom. He went to the restroom. He didn't know that where they were about to take off, but they took off, and he hit his head going backwards, and he was pretty much in the restroom half of the trip until somebody had to go to the restroom and they found him in there. So that's how he got on the plane. He wasn't being a stowaway. He just did a stupid thing, and not letting personnel know that he needed to use the restroom real quick, but he didn't have a plane ticket, and please don't take off with him because he needs to stay at home. But like I said, none of that information was given, so he just rode on free, but I'm sure he paid for it prior to getting off that plane for the one way. No, but I guess he had to pay a round trip because he had to come back, and then he had to say it again, child. That's where his concussions had come from. But she was just letting Steffi know that's the last time she saw him, and they had no more contact with one another. So she don't know what she's talking about, because right now she's traveling the world with her father. Her father's an international traveler. He has made very good past business decisions where the revenue was there for him to live like a jet setter. So that's where he is at this time of his life. So his daughter thought she would join him. So that's what they're doing, going to different countries, different cities, different states, and they just doing the thing. So no, Liam is not with her, and if she could do it all over again, she wouldn't change anything. But she still love Liam. Hope still love Liam. Steffi still love Liam. So still is a major triangle worth a mess, pretty much. So the scene goes on. She can't get anything from Ivy. She's believing Ivy because Ivy has no reason to lie. And yes, her father does jet set around the world. She knows that. So she put Ivy back up in her little cute little box, dismissed her, and we move on to the next scene. Wyatt and Bill. Let me see. Okay, Wyatt is pleading with his dad once again, even though he should have all of this solidified in the contract that they had put together on the prior day, the previous day. Liam goes on, not Liam, Wyatt goes on to tell his dad, look, I don't care if Liam brings his little happy hips back on up in here. He's renewed and he's fresh, but hey, he cannot get the job title back again. Is that still secure? Can I count on you there as a father this time? Not as a businessman, not as a decision. Can you uphold your promise to me this time? So of course Bill said, hey, it's a good business decision and it's a good personal decision. Liam is still indecisive. He wants to be wishy-washy. He puts his personal business before business, and we can't have that. I'm really feeling you now. I made the mistake the first time only on the reasoning that your brother did not have anyone and did not have anyone to teach him about being a man, as well as flourishing as a man in business. So that's why I tried to teach him, but he fell short. So now I have to pick up the reins and educate you. And I think you're going to be a strong contender. So please, let's not reflect back on this again. I made my decision. Yes, I am going to support you 120%. Okay? But I just threw that in now. He said 120. But he pretty much saying he solidified that he's solid with his decision with his son, Wyatt. So, that's pretty much of that scene. It goes back to Quinn and Deacon. Quinn and Deacon are going over the strategic plans of getting rid of Liam. He has to go because um, it'd be fine if just Quinn knew that he was in the picture. But she don't let too many people know, such as Deacon. Deacon has been threatening her about letting other people know. And that don't too much sit well with her. So she's like, okay, somebody gotta go. Right now, I'm gonna say Liam, but then again, it may be somebody else. I'm not really sure. Cause I'm not feeling this joker going ins and outs, telling me what I need to do. And I know I'm having fun with this little young toy. I'm a cougar. I need to get my groove on sometimes. And I've already been pretty much secured by the neurologist that you and I went and visit that this boy ain't gonna retain his memory. There's no way. Especially if you don't get him no medical help or treatment. So that past of his memory in the past is gone. So he don't know. And I don't plan on letting him out too much to roam too far from, you know, the little hitaway camp we got up in here. Cabin. He ain't gotta go nowhere. We got food, we got shelter, he got clothes, he got me. So he don't need anything else. This is her way of thinking. Crazy. Um, but she's still trying to convince Deacon to stay on plan. Don't think too much about the real, finalities of everything. Leave that to her. But she just needs to make sure they're together in case she can't commit the act. He can help her, and where she's weak, he can be strong, and he can just pretty much, if she can't push him, he need to come push her because they both need to be clear of this parasite, which is Liam. But like I said, we're done with that. Scene moves on back to Bill and Wyatt. Bill has said, look, I have a board meeting today. That was the real reason why I told you to be dressed up in your suit. You came looking good. I done pressed and pruned you out, because he was feeling on the top part of his shoulders, making sure everything was straight. He was looking at him, getting the idea, the feel, being in the motion in a moment. And he said, look, only thing I want you to do is shadow me when I am basically interacting with the business people. Never let them see you sweat. Never let them put you on an edge where you feel uncomfortable. You always stay in the driver's seat. Questions may come a little bit too fast and too be stern, but breathe. Think about that question and execute a correct answer. But only if you feel it necessary and only if you know you're going to say the right thing that I will approve of. However, if you look skittish at the time, I understand it because, first time for everything, everybody don't take it and swiftly, move with it correctly on the first time. But given a chance to be shown how to proceed in different aspects, I'm sure you'll be fine the next time. So if you want to fall back and watch your old dad in the play mode, sit back and watch. But if you need to tap me on the shoulder saying you got this, I am comfortable and you take the wheel. So why it's pretty much like good, 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 Dad. I'm glad. I'm glad you feel a little bit better about me. And all the reason why he felt that way is pretty much because he knew he was the head man when it came to meeting and greeting and doing business in the jewelry world. So he knows and he respects how that type of organization works and how they get their revenue and what they have to do to get to that point of building a good organization with a firm foundation. So, he knew his son, his oldest son, was on point, and he had a lot to contribute, so he knew this. And then he's also taking a little sidebar note to let Wyatt know that, you might need to cut some ties. And the ties that I'm speaking of is of your crazy mama. Because your mama ain't got it all. She's not wrapped tight. And he will defend his family, including him, against that crazy woman, because she needs some help. She really does. And he doesn't trust her. He's letting Wyatt know he doesn't really trust her. And if he knew what she was cooking up, um, if he knew what she was doing to manipulate and take his youngest son from her, child, it would be a definitely misunderstanding. But it goes against what it goes in line with what he's saying about she's unstable. She can't be trusted. Only when you can see her. And then you have to make sure you keep your eye on her, because if you blink, you might miss something. So, then she goes back. Then the scene goes back to Quinn and Deacon. And of course, Quinn is trying to seduce him into thinking that it can be another situation with them. Maybe not marriage, but they can form another type of sexual relationship. Of course, Deacon, he's thinking with the wrong part of the head. And he's like, really? Really? But Deacon still has that foreknowledge that, he ain't paying, he ain't playing with somebody that got a full deck mentally. So he's like, yeah, right. Okay, I'm gonna play your game. I'm gonna play your game and see how far it go. Give me a little sex, that's good. But I ain't finna commit no murder for you. I'm not finna do it. So it moves on to Ivy and Steffi again. Steffi is being rude to Ivy, letting her know that she wasn't no good for Liam in the first place, because look how she traded Shield when she saw that she couldn't convince Liam to jump from her to her, meaning jump from Stephanie to her. And Stephanie's like, well, wait a minute. Okay, hold. You come back in town. You trying to get Liam from Hope, and you did everything you possibly could do with that situation, and none of it was good. So you trying to call the pot the you trying to call the you kind of trying to call the black kettle pot, calling the pot, calling the kettle black is what I'm saying. Back at Steffi. And she was like, oh, so you got jokes. And so they've just, like I said, going back, making each other feel like they wasn't worthy of Liam, because he was a saint and this, that, and the other. But, we all know Liam wasn't no saint. He was playing women. He's so indecisive. He was at Hope, then he was at Stephanie, then he was at Stephanie, then he was at Hope. Then Ivy came in from nowhere when they were chasing Hope and when they was chasing Hope and Ivy, or was it Steffi? See, I'm even confused. But the whole triangle was just too much, and Liam was just too much for the situation. Pretty much like his father said, he's very indecisive. Just make a decision, stand firm in your decision, and leave it alone. But Liam can't seem to understand it. Then that's why we're here where we are. But anyways, Ivy was like, "Look, honey, I just came to drop by to see what was going on with the ins and outs of this company, see a little people here and there, and I'm going to keep it moving because I am on an international traveling event with my father, okay? And Liam is nowhere in it, but if he comes back, then it's on like popcorn, because I see you can't even keep it. And then, matter of fact, you got a ring on your finger, and it's my ex that I was dealing with, and you call yourself good? No, ma'am. So I see this is still messed up from when I left it, and it's still messed up when I'm just dropping by. So okay, deuces, honey. You handle whatever that is, and hmm? Girl, no, I had the thing erased when I was talking to Lala. I had to retake. Girl, please, bye bye. So that's pretty much how that left. She just said deuces on her. Okay. So Quinn, it goes to Quinn and Liam, and she's pretty much, Quinn is having a lot of anxiety. She's breathing hard with her asthma, because I guess asthmatics, I know when they go and they overexert themselves, they can go into a wheezing pattern. Uh, but I think if you're in a stressful situation, that may causes you to wheeze too. So she was, having a hard time trying to figure out the ins and outs of how she gonna kill Liam. She really don't want to kill Liam because she saw another side that she likes, and it makes her be softer, and she don't want to get rid of that yet. But then she's struggling with the fact that It's still a lot of loose ties that need to be tied up, and she still don't know which way she gonna go with it. And what I mean by that, Deacon knows about the truth, and he's threatening her. Then the fact to even have um Liam with her without any knowledge, and people gonna start looking for him, you know, because it's the right thing to do. That's a threat. So she's just trying to figure out. She got too many threats on her hands, and she can't have no threats. That's not how she rolls. So she pretty much is figuring out. Okay, somebody got to go, but they don't really give us that as a viewer's tease. But that's how her mind is pretty much going. Cause I peep game, and let's see. Liam is being very supportive because again he's thinking Quinn is all frazzled and upset about this other person that is dying, but in reality, she talking about him. She gonna have to kill him. Um, and that's pretty much it for that scene. Going on to Bill and Wyatt. He's still having, conversations with him, telling him that, pretty much, you have really walked into your a brother's life in essence. You have his fiance, who he had until he mysteriously walked away. You pretty much got in the way of his other fiance, and y'all were gonna try to have a relationship also. That was Hope. Then somehow all of it just went to hell, and you start messing with their cousin, which was Ivy. So, and then I'm offering you the opportunity to come work for me. So, and you are. So it's almost like you're living Liam's life. However, you have nothing to do with his disappearance, the knowledge that they have of where he really is, and you're being manipulated by your mother. You always have. And it's really going to come to fruition when everything comes out that she has been keeping Liam for a long time to make all of this newfound opportunities for Wyatt to have been made and solidified. She had a very big hand of that because she was controlling fate in a sense. She was making her own fate that was working in favor for her son. So it was just a hot mess. Wyatt is still, saying, yes, he did have an upper hand on Liam by having one person that was strong and made him who the man he ended up turning out to be. He had somebody in his life. Yes, his mother died early and he didn't have a father, so he was kind of an orphanage, but Crimea River, okay? Either way, he has had enough time within the Spencer family to solidify himself and to make decisions. Them still wishy-washy. I'm not that way. So continue to look at me, Dad, because I'm being the man that you've always dreamed of living your legacy with. So, Bill was all there for it. And, he's saying yes, pretty much. It seems that way. It seems that way. But we'll be watching. We'll be watching. So the scene moves on to Ivy and Steffi. They still fussing. I thought she had left, but she did. She's still there. They're trying to compare notes. They're trying to learn actually when did he come back to California and what happened to make him disappear. Steffi goes on to say, yeah, I saw him. Yes, we had an argument. Yes, he said he like he was giving me a chance to talk about something, but I don't know what he was talking about. But he made it very clear that the wedding was off. He didn't want to have anything to do with me, and good luck with life. And I thought that was strange because we usually fuss and fuss and fuss until we really tell each other what's going on with us. But, Ivy told her again what had transpired against with them going back to Australia, and that's all she knows. She hadn't talked to Liam since then. So Stephanie pretty much believes her about everything, and she's just having other thoughts of what could be wrong, where Liam could be, and this, that, and the other. So it moves back to the final and last scene of this episode yesterday, which was Tuesday. Quinn and Liam. Quinn has already solidified that she's going to take Liam out, because they're getting that plan together to get rid of him. They're going to take him on a hiking excursion at the very highest part of a canyon that he can overlook every beautiful sight that he can possibly see while she getting ready to push him over and he falls to his death. But prior to leaving for that excursion, she feels like she want to have sexual intercourse with him. And she comes out, instead of with all her gear, camping gear, she going to come out with her lingerie and trying to seduce him. And he was like, okay, well, I guess the canyon can wait for a couple of more hours. Because, yes, we need to go and get busy and do this thing. Do this love thing. It's a love thing. Yay! But anyway, that's what they do. They're professing their love for one another, and everything is groovy. But I guess she just needs that last poke to get her over until she decides which person she's going to get rid of. So that's all I had, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed the review of Bold and the Beautiful for Tuesday, March 15th. And since I've already watched Wednesday, it's exciting. It's pretty much what I told you was going to happen. And girl, and sir, if you watch it too, it's a trip. It's a hot mess, but I love it, and I'll be giving you the next review on that in a couple of minutes. So once you click off that video, go get you some popcorn, something to drink, or get your meal for tonight, and just sit back and let me give it to you blow by blow, because it's hot. It's hot. It's hot. It's hot. Okay.